question. When we are doing some karma, for example, if we shoot, does the karma belong to the gun or to the hand? Who would like to attempt the answer? Does karma belong to the gun or to the hand?
It's a hand, sir.
Why to the hand?
Gun is the only instrument. It cannot think and it cannot have any feelings. It cannot decide. Only yourself thinking, yourself deciding to the mind, and you are doing with your hand. So that karma belongs to your body and mind.
So does the, let me go one step further. When the hand, you say the karma belongs to the hand. So my question to you, Kumar Swami, does the karma belong to the hand or to the mind?
It's the mind, sir.
Now, why are you changing your mind?
No, actually, this body will be after death. The body will be here only. Na? The mind will take place and along with the karmas. So it belongs to the karma. It belongs to mind and ego only.
Okay. Anybody else wants to try? Who does karma belong to?
Shiva.
Shiva.
Yes, Ashok Chotwani.
Sir, the karma belongs to not to sir.
Who does the karma belong to? Karthik, you've come in the picture. Who does karma belong to?
Karma belongs to us only.
Who?
Sir, if I shoot someone, the karma belongs to not to me. So it should be happen if a person who does karma in past life, and he has to in this Janma he has the
Karthik,
Sure,
does the karma belong to the gun or to the hand? Karthik.
No, sir. No. Can I?
hand. It belongs to hand, sir.
Sure,
Can I,
sir.
sir? Can I?
Okay, Ashok Chotwani, what do you believe? Who does the karma belong to?
Yeah. Karma does not belong to hand or gun, but it belongs to the person who is shooting somebody.
Who is that?
Who is mind and
Can
ego,
I?
sir.
Can I?
Because the person has mind and ego only.
So you say the karma belongs to the mind and ego, correct?
Yes. Can I?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Can I?
Yes, Rajan.
Karma belongs to the self, the soul, the Atma.
Karma belongs to Atma.
The soul.
Where did you hear this from, Rajan? Who told
The
you
soul.
karma belongs to Atma?
Because the Atma, when it take rebirth, it reborn along with this bad karma.
You see why, Rajan, just a minute, Rajan. You see, my dear friends, why we ask these questions is everybody has got their own concepts. Everybody is believing in their own concepts, and you must understand where you are in the concept of life. Where are you? Are you at the level where you are at the body level? Are you at the mind level? Are you at the karma level? Are you at the self-realization level? Are you at the God realization level?
Okay.
My dear Rajan,
Okay.
karma never belongs to the soul. The soul,
Okay.
Atma, is Paramatma.
Oh.
Karma does not belong to soul. Please don't believe the karma belongs to the soul. This is wrong.
Okay.
Rajan?
Okay.
So just to get the correct point clear, and we are still not finished. Please pay attention.
Okay.
Why we ask the question, Rajan?
Yes.
The gun is shooting.
Okay.
The hand is not shooting. No, the gun is shooting. The gun shot the man.
Okay.
Then karma belongs to whom?
Who control the gun? Who control the gun?
Not the hand. Why the karma does not belong to the hand? Because the gun shot. So I am challenging you. I am saying the karma does not belong to the hand. Who would like to challenge me? I am saying the karma belongs to gun.
No. No. We cannot challenge you.
No, you should challenge. I'm only having a discussion. So I am saying somebody said karma belongs to hand. I'm saying no. Karma belongs to gun.
No.
How can you tell me? How can you prove to me no, karma belongs to hand, not the gun? Anybody?
Sir,
Yeah, Shivam, Gautam here.
body is an instrument. Body is an instrument, but mind and ego is only having a planning and ideas. mind and ego will be having an idea to do the thing through the instrument, but it belongs to the karma, belongs to mind and ego only.
Okay, good. Now, Kumar Swami has come out with a new word. I like the word. Kumar Swami used a nice word. He says, instrument. The gun is an instrument. Correct? So even the hand is an instrument. The gun is an instrument of the instrument.
Body.
Yes.
And the hand is the instrument of the doer.
Yes.
But actually, karma belongs to whom?
Shivoham,
Shivam. Yes, Girish.
karma neither belongs to the gun nor to the hands. It belongs to the illusory I, who is the doer of the action. I think, but I do the action, that illusory I carries the karma.
Good. So therefore, Girish, I'm posting a next question to you. If that illusory I does the karma, does the illusory I have to pay for the karma or no?
Yes.
So it is not in that way illusory I. It is the ignorant I.
Yes.
It is, if you may say illusory I,
Ignorant.
but
Correct.
it is the ignorant I.
Correct.
Because as long as the I is ignorant, it will do karma, it has to pay karma. There is no way to escape from the karma.
Correct.
Correct? Okay. So my dear friends, today we are trying to touch the topic of karma because karma is very, very important. Karma is important because if we do not understand the law of karma, I am writing a new book in Iceland. The book I'm writing in Iceland is called Life is Karma. Life is karma. Everything is karma. You are listening to me, karma. I am talking to you, karma. If it was not my karma, I could not talk to you. If it was not your karma, you could not listen to me. There are some people who want to attend this call, but it's not in their karma to attend this call. There are some people who want to on the video. They cannot on the video because it's not in their karma. There are some people who want to talk in this call, but there are people around them, they can't ask questions. It's not in their karma. Everything is unfolding as per karma. And when we understand the meaning of karma, then we have reached a level. Because at the end of the day, I'm leaving you with this thought today. Self-realization, life realization, God realization is all about transcending karma, going beyond karma. So with that, I would like you to question me today. Administrator, let us start with questions. I can speak 30 minutes on karma, not 30 minutes. I can speak 3 days on karma. But we will not continue talking. We will not continue talking because this is Ask Air. So you ask and I will give you the answers. Question, please. Karthik. First question from Karthik.
Sir, Shivoham, sir.
Shivoham.
Sir, in Ramayanam, what actually happened in the sense Rama killed that Hanuman, what we call him. So he killed him from the other side. And next Janma in Sri Krishna Avatar, he was being killed by a person. The same person who was previous, but he killed Sri Krishna. So we can relate this with no, sir. So in this way, I want to tell you one thing, sir. What I mean to say is that if for example, if I kill someone in this life, and next life he won't come and kill me, the God will punish me in some ways by naturally, like we say, no, air, water, fire, something else. I'm thinking like that. Can you tell me?
My dear Karthik, nobody can define the way karma will reply. The way karma responds in life, only karma knows. Nobody in this world can tell you who killed whom last Janma and who will kill whom in this Janma. This is something nobody in the world knows.
But he have to pay for that, no, sir.
Yeah, that's all. That's all matters. Don't
But,
tell Rama Hanuman and Hanuman.
We can't tell, no, sir. But we can't tell how he will pay. In what way he have to pay? Like having without eyes or something hands. he have to pay for that.
Nobody can decide how you will pay. Only karma will decide. Now let me tell you one thing, Karthik. How you will pay for karma is not.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir. Hello. Voice. Voice. Voice.
Okay, can you hear me now, Sudeep?
Yeah, now I can hear you. I don't know why I can't hear you.
Okay. Karthik, the question is, how we pay for our karma is not the relevant question, my dear Karthik. There is only one relevant question. What is the relevant question? How can we escape from karma? How can we be liberated from karma? Nothing else matters, my dear Karthik, because karma itself is part of Leela. Everything is Maya. You are not bothered whether you are slaughtered or you are killed, because everything is a drama. My dear Karthik, do not concentrate on that. Leave it alone. What you want moksha, right, Karthik? You want the goal of enlightenment.
Yes, sir.
Concentrate on that. And what you have to concentrate is only on one subject. And the subject is this: how can I be liberated from karma? That's the only subject. Next question, please. I think Sudeep.
Sudeep
Yes, sir.
is next.
Sudeep
Shivam
Bhargava.
sir. Shivam sir.
Yes, Sudeep.
Sir, Girishji talked about the illusory eye. Can I say that the illusory eye is nothing but the subtle body which is giving the instructions to the hand, and then the hand is giving the instruction to the gun?
Correct. But
So at the
what? No, but you cannot call it illusory eye. The moment it becomes an illusory eye, then you are already enlightened.
no, I'm just trying to repeat what the word that Girishji had used.
So we corrected that. The ignorant eye.
Ignorant eye. Oh, right. Perfectly
See,
correct.
I hope you got the difference, Sudeep.
Yes, I got the difference, sir.
The moment I am an ignorant eye, then I can hold the gun and I can shoot the person.
True.
If I become the illusory eye, what will happen, Sudeep?
Illusory eye is, I'm thinking myself to be the mind, body, and the subtle body. The mind, intellect.
No. If I become the illusory eye, then I'm not the eye. That means I'm already aware I am the illusory eye. Then I will not hold the gun and I will not kill anybody.
Okay, fine. That means at this point of time, I'm the ignorant eye. When I become enlightened, then I become the illusory eye.
Then you become aware. Then you become aware of the illusory I, which is the me, M-E, mind and ego. And then the mind and ego directs the hand, and the hand directs the gun, and the gun shoots. But the shooting of the gun is not the fault of the gun. It is not the fault of the hand. It is the fault of that ignorant I, which when I become aware becomes illusory, and then I do not shoot because I will not shoot because it's all Leela. Why should I shoot in this Leela?
True.
So what is your question?
If I do not become enlightened, then that I has to take the rebirth. That is what the cycle is all about.
Absolutely. If you
right. So that's what I just wanted to check. Fine.
Yeah. And if that I has used the instrument of the hand to use the instrument of the gun to kill, then that I, which is nothing but me, M-E,
the ignorant I.
Yeah, the ignorant I becomes M-E, the mind and ego, me. Right. It has to be born again and again and again, and it will suffer again and again and again. There is no other option, but we have to come back again and again. True. And this is the mystery of life and death, which people don't understand. And this is the big problem, that we are living and we are dying, and we don't know why. We don't know the question of why we are alive, why we are doing what we are doing. More than 99% of the 8 billion people in the world don't know why they are doing what they are doing. Can you believe it? 99% of the 8 billion people in this world do not know what they are doing and why they are doing, because they are enveloped in avidya. You and me are lucky you and me are trying to realize the meaning of life. We are trying to go one step forward in understanding who am I, why am I here, who is God, where is God, what is death, what is birth. So this is the journey. Okay, good. Who's on the? Thank you. Next question is from Bridget. Does the karma of the people around us affect our own? No.
No?
The karma of people around you will only affect them. So Bridget, it's like this.
Are you sure?
Suppose you have an apple tree in your house.
Yeah.
So the apple tree, is your garden, and you get the apple fruits.
Mhm.
Now, if your neighbor has got good karma, the apple tree may grow into your neighbor's house and drop apples in their house.
Okay.
Now, you cannot stop that. Can you stop it? You can't stop the apple tree from growing into your neighbor's house and giving your neighbors apples every day.
Mhm.
You cannot even go and tell your neighbor, give me back the apples because it's my tree.
No.
The neighbor may give you, but if the tree dropped the apple in his garden. So what I'm trying to say, see, Bridget, everybody today,
Mhm.
whatever you are doing today, and whatever is going to happen in your life today, how is it happening, Bridget? Suppose I'm driving a car. Suppose I'm just driving a car. A truck comes from behind and bangs my car. It's not my fault. I did not do anything, Bridget. I was driving safely in the speed limit on the right track. Suppose I'm standing here, I'm talking to you. Somebody comes and bangs me from behind. So why did they bang me from behind?
Hmm.
You know why?
I don't understand what you say. Repeat, please.
If I am sitting
Yeah.
here and
Why?
somebody comes and they crash their car on me,
Yeah.
why they crashed the car on me? You know the answer?
No, it's
Because of my karma.
your
Because
karma.
yeah, because some time back I did something bad to somebody. Now I am paying the karma.
Mhm.
So you only pay your own karma, not other people's karma. Your question, other people's karma, only they pay. Whatever you do, you pay.
But if I share with her or him his karma because I live with him, who I am, it's my friend, and it got hurt and everything. I'm there. I live the karma with us. You understand what I say now?
Yeah. But your karma is not transferable. Your karma only you will get. Suppose you and me are driving in the car and it's by my bad karma, I will die, you will not die. I will be smashed, you will not be smashed.
Okay,
So
I understand.
karma has got very, very fair method of giving answer. And therefore, we all must learn the meaning of karma. And not only that, we have to learn to go beyond karma. We have to cross over karma and be liberated from karma. That is the ultimate goal. The next question, please. Veena, question from Veena.
Namaste, Master.
Namaste, Veena.
Actually, I supposed to ask what's your conclusion to this today's topic, but just now you explained to Sudeep sir. My question is, the karma belongs to the gun or the hand. What's your conclusion? That I want to know actually. But just now you explained to Sudeep sir.
Well, let me explain one more thing to you since you're asking the question, Veena.
Yes, Master.
Actually, Karma does not belong to gun, because like Kumar Swami told beginning, gun has no life. Karma
Yes,
does not belong to gun. And the
Uh.
karma does not belong to the hand, because the hand is acting on the behalf of the mind and ego, me.
yes.
And in reality, karma does not belong even to mind and ego, me, because the end it's a drama. But because Girish and Sudeep told, right? Because you think you are Veena. Because you think you are Veena, whatever good things you are doing, you are thinking, I am doing good work, I am doing good work. Who's thinking, Veena? Who's thinking you are doing good work? Who's the person thinking?
Me, mind. My mind is thinking.
Your ego. More than your mind, your ego.
Yes, Master.
So when your ego is thinking, I am doing, you are creating karma. Now the problem with that karma, Veena, is because of that karma, good or bad, even if it's good karma, not bad karma, even if it's good karma, you are going to come back in this planet. And if you're going to come back in this planet, then you will suffer.
Yes.
Therefore, the goal is what I'm trying to tell everybody today. The goal is, I told Karthik. What did I tell Karthik? How can we escape from karma?
By
How
being
can
liberated.
we be free from karma? How can we be liberated? Don't tell Rama killed Hanuman, this Krishna. No, don't get into all these things. By getting into all these things, you're only getting into complication. So, Veena, our goal is only one.
Yes, Master.
How to be free from karma. That is the goal. So
Okay,
with that, and yes, next question, please.
Thank you, Master.
Question from Jyotri. Yesterday you uttered, when I am sleeping, they don't burn me. Kindly explain.
When I am sleeping, they don't burn me. So Jyotri, when you get up in the morning, do people start early morning, as soon as you get up, do people start saying Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai? Do they say when as soon as you get up in the morning, they take fire, they put white bed sheet on you and they put flowers on you and they burn you? No, they don't burn you. Because there is life inside you. Because there is a life inside you, Jyotri, every morning when you wake up, nobody will say Ram Naam Satya Hai. But tomorrow morning, if I wake up and I am dead, all of you who are around me, you will be one of the people who will light fire on my body. So when we are sleeping, I said that nobody will light fire to the body when we are sleeping. But the moment we are dead, our near and dear ones, our own children, our loved ones, they will light fire, because we are not that body. We have already left the body and gone. Now, my dear friends, that doesn't end the story. Who has left the body? If we think we are the me, the mind and ego who has left the body, along with karma, we will come back. If we think, if we not think, but if we realize we are the Atma, not the mind and ego which is carrying its karma. When we realize we are not the mind and ego, me, we are the Atma. The moment you think you are Atma in Jyotri, you are the soul in Jyotri. So you should say, I am Sij. Sij means, S-I-J means soul in Jyotri. The moment you realize you are the soul in Jyotri, then you are liberated from the cycle of death and rebirth. So next question, please. Any live questions? I'm going on to a social media question. If there's a live question, let me know. The question from Suhas is, a bhogi can become a yogi, but can a yogi become a bhogi? The bhogi can become a yogi. We are all bhogis. We are all from the samsara. We bhogi can become yogi by getting into a life of yoga. But can a yogi become a bhogi? Anybody can answer this question? Can a bhogi become a yogi? Yes or no? And how?
Namaste, Master.
Namaste.
It's Veena, Master. Sometimes
Tell me,
it may
Veena.
happen, Master.
Huh?
Sometimes it may happen, Master.
How
You-
how it will happen? How it will happen? How a yogi can become bhogi? Tell me.
If we keep on our karma yoga means we keep on always with divine unity means we can be somewhat
Okay. I think we will excuse Veena, she's coughing. Okay, so she gave half the answer. I hope you got the answer what she was saying. A yogi who is always in yoga normally cannot slip. But what
yes.
when we cut the yoga? What when that moment of yoga cuts? It's just like this. You have an Airtel SIM card. Your Airtel SIM card is connected to Airtel satellite. Sometimes your Airtel SIM card gets disconnected from Airtel satellite. It can connect to Vodafone. Have you noticed that sometimes it happens? Have you noticed it? Especially
sir.
when you are when in roaming. Not so much in the local network, but when you are in the roaming network, I notice sometimes Airtel SIM card will get connected to Vodafone.
Yes.
Then there is no network. So this is how the yogi can become a bhogi,
Yes.
because the yogi who normally lives in yoga slips. He slips either in women, wealth, and wine, or he slips in duty, lust, and shame. He slips in one of the slides, and he is lost. From the yogi, you can become a bhogi. All right. So, what is the challenge, my dear friends? Like I told you over the last 2-3 days, our challenge. I may be in Iceland, right? I'm here in Iceland for one more day. Tomorrow I fly from Iceland to Frankfurt, and then hopefully we'll have a call from there before I come back. Wherever I am, I try to be in a mode of complete nothingness. Even today, I drove to this place just to show you where I came. I am in a place where I come where there is nothing. I'm on top of a mountain. And on the top of the mountain, there is absolutely stillness. Even the water, if you look at the water in the ocean, it's completely still. I come here, I write a book, I write a bhajan, I write a few words on life. What is the purpose? The purpose for you and for me is to come into that state of chit, sat chit, and experience ananda. I know many of you are struggling, and many of you tell me individually that you would like to get out of the samsara, but you are not able to get out of the samsara. Do you think it's a joke to get out of samsara? Do you think everybody and anybody is lucky to get out of samsara? Oh no, my friends. Just for you and me to be able to be on this call is a huge grace of the divine. 10 years back, it would not be possible. 10 years back, there was no Zoom calls. Sometimes the timing is right. Sometimes the God's divine grace is upon us. I know when I wanted to reach the state of realization, I struggled. I'm telling you, I struggled so hard. If I wanted to know the difference between knowledge and realization, it would be so difficult to get the answer. If I wanted to know the answer between karma yoga and other yogas, it would be impossible for me to get the answer. Today, somebody in like Bridget sitting in Quebec, she can touch the Zoom button and she can get the answer. Kumar Swami is somewhere in America, but he's able to connect to the call. Of course, it's his commitment that he connects to the call and he's there. Dattatreya, where are you, Dattatreya? I didn't ask the question. Where Dattatreya? Where are you located? Which place? Pune. Dattatray and Sanjay Das. I don't see Sanjay Das on the call today, but Dattatray, Sanjay Das, they are in Pune. I thought even Samita is somewhere near Pune or Mumbai. I'm not sure where Samita told us where she was. Rajendra also was from Pune.
No, I am from Mumbai.
From Mumbai, okay. But you go to Pune once in a way.
Sometimes.
So, my dear friends, at a touch of a button, at 8, we all touch a button and we get united. But what is the use? What is the use of us being united on the Zoom call if there is no unification with the divine? Our ultimate goal coming on this call is not just to have question answers. Let me tell you, these question answers are useless if we do not achieve the ultimate goal of liberation and unification. Every day on this call, every day I am sharing with you questions which people put to me. And then I wait for you to come out with your own questions. It is not easy. Our own mind will stop us from realizing that we are not, I am not I. If you tell somebody I am not I, they cannot understand. What is the meaning of I am not I? People cannot understand. I am not the body. What do you mean I am not the body? Of course I am the body. Of course this is me. If you tell some people in the world, they will not understand. Therefore, my dear friends, we are lucky we are coming on this call. But let me tell you, the ultimate goal for us is not making good question answer here. Every day I've given you all an enlightenment life book. I've given you all the enlightenment grid. I have tried to give you many tools. It is my sincere effort to try to take you forward in the journey. In the journey, there will be many roadblocks. There will be many, what you call speed breakers. And we have to be able not to topple. Normally, sometime when a car is going on a speed breaker, the car can topple, especially auto. Auto can topple. So we have to put all our effort to remain on the track and to be able to ultimately achieve the state of liberation. If we don't, again, 9 months in the mother's womb, you know how much child suffers? 9 months the child is in the mother's womb. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine how much suffering the child has to be in the womb for 9 months? And then we come out, and then we cry, and then we experience the suffering of the body and the mind and the ego. When are we going to stop and find out answer to the question, who am I? Why am I here? Where is God? Where is heaven and hell? Will I go to heaven and hell? My dear friends, even today, I get questions which have no answers, even today. And then I try to put the right answer to the question because questions will keep coming. Of course, in the realization of the truth, if you put any question, answer will come. Any question. It is like a computer, which like Google. You ask Google most of the questions, it will give answer. Sometimes it keeps on going round. Means I don't know the answer. But luckily in spirituality, once you are enlightened, you know the answers. But questions will keep coming. More and more and more questions. So my dear friends, today is a weekend. Before you go and sleep tonight, before you end the day, ask yourself the question, where am I on the path of enlightenment? How much have I arrived? What is holding me back? Do I experience God everywhere? Do I see God in one and all? What are my roadblocks? What are my limitations? Find out. Write down your limitations. What are you doing to overcome your limitations? Don't just hope that they will go away. No. Work on your limitations. Let me tell you, even the biggest, richest man in the world and the most powerful man in the world is not blessed like you because you're on the path of enlightenment. Don't forget these words being a weekend. Take these words and contemplate and see how you can, on a day-to-day basis, move forward. Last point of all, I have told you all, if we can do nothing else, if we can help somebody join this path of enlightenment, it's the greatest karma yoga. If we can find somebody who needs a help on the journey of enlightenment, it is said to be a great karma yoga. If we can help somebody by giving them a book, by giving them a link to this call, by giving them answers to questions, in whatever way you can, if you help somebody who is seeking God, move forward on the journey, that is the big karma yoga. With that note, I bow down to you and I thank you. Shivoham Shivoham.